If you're someone who's just gotten into PC gaming, or maybe just gaming in general, the first thing you do after setting up your rig is to look for games. However, with the amount of games out there, especially on Steam, you'll be hard pressed to decide which game you'll want to play first. So, to help you make a decision, here are my top 10 games to buy. These games won't necessarily be exclusives, but will provide a better experience on the PC. Number 10. Undertale. Undertale is an indie title that was successfully kickstarted by gamers. It's about a little kid who falls into an underground world and is looking for a way home. This is a game where you have the choice of not hurting anybody. The fights take form as a series of mini games. It's a good place to start if you're really new to gaming. The reason for that is because the visuals the game adopts look like they come from the NES era, which is to say isn't very good by modern standards. But the game is full of substance and teaches that a game can have more than just eye candy to keep you invested. And to be honest, if you can play through Undertale's underwhelming visuals, any game you play after that can only look better. Also, the music in this game is great. Number 9. Transistor. Transistor is another indie title that I feel deserves some love. Transistor is much of an improvement visual-wise from Undertale and manages to retain great depth in its story and gameplay mechanics to keep you playing and invested in the world. The game starts in media res, which is to say it starts in the middle of the action. The plot revolves around Red, a girl who's lost her voice, and her boyfriend who has somehow died and become her weapon, the Transistor. It's a great story coupled with fun gameplay. The voice acting and music is great too. Number 8. Spec Ops The Line. Moving on to the next game in the list is Spec Ops The Line. Spec Ops The Line makes us take a hard look at the gaming culture that's obsessed with shooting games. It lulls you into a sense of false heroism and then sucker punches you into staring at what you've done all through the game. I went into the game with the plot slightly spoiled, but it still managed to reel me in and I felt the full effects the game intended me to feel. Number 7. Sleeping Dogs. To me, Sleeping Dogs is just fun. It's got a decent story, but the game setting is what interests me the most. This game is perfect for people looking for a GTA experience that's not GTA, mainly because the game is set in Hong Kong. You'll be running into hawkers selling pork buns, knockoff clothing, an endless parade of Cantonese cursing and cussing. Commercially though, this game failed, but it's an enjoyable game regardless, although we won't be seeing a Sleeping Dogs 2. Number 6. Far Cry 3. Although Far Cry 2 and 4 were great, Far Cry 3 was the game that put it in the spotlight for me. I enjoyed the story a lot. The game sets you up as Jason Brody. Your friends get kidnapped by pirates and it's up to you to rescue them. Vaz is a very interesting character and adds a lot of tension to the story. Other than that, traversing through the jungle and blowing things up never gets old. Having the option to use stealth is also a fun mechanic if chaos is not your first option. Number 5. Tomb Raider 2013. The 2013 Tomb Raider rebooted the series in a big way. I've tried playing one of the originals before, but never really got into it. Maybe it's because I'm a better gamer now, but this reboot has certainly changed the way the series plays in a good way. The visuals are a lot of times breathtaking, especially on the PC. Puzzles are fun, and the story is intense. Tomb Raider 2013 reboots Lara's origin story in a great way. Crystal Dynamics did a very good job, and it's worth checking out. Number 4. Fallout 3 or New Vegas. Fallout 3 and New Vegas are older games. Plot-wise, the games are independent of each other. However, they are pretty alike in many aspects. New Vegas is more refined in its mechanics. Both the visuals are dated but serviceable, nothing a mod can't fix, and Bethesda games are known for their mods. Apart from the absence of vehicles, the gameplay is great. You'll have a lot of fun with the VAT system, the mechanic where you'll be able to target specific body parts in order to do more damage or for strategic reasons, shooting your enemy's weapon, for example. It's a good blend between real-time shooting and turn-based strategy. It doesn't sound like it would work, but it really does. Number 3. Dishonored. Dishonored is a stealth-based game with a lot of freedom given to complete your objectives. This also means that the approach of ignoring the stealth elements altogether and going for a crazy chaos run. You can choose to play undetected and non-lethal, or just go balls to the walls crazy and go on a massacre. You play as Corvo, the royal protector for the Empress, who's just come back from a mission to learn more about the rat plague that's been looming the city. After delivering a message to the Empress, she's murdered in front of you by assassins and you've taken the blame. You progress through the game trying to save the Empress's daughter, Emily. The best mechanic in this game is Blink, the ability to teleport. Oh, did I forget to tell you? This game has magic. Number 2. Crysis III. Crysis III joins Prophet, an enhanced soldier fighting off the Sith, an alien race bent on taking over our planet. Prophet wears a suit enabling him to run faster, punch harder, and most importantly, turn invisible for a brief moment. You'll be fighting off different enemy types, ranging from other soldiers to Sith. The third game introduces you to the crossbow, enabling you to kill while being invisible for an added stealth element. I love the campaign, and this game still remains one of my all-time favorite games. So if you get a chance, get your hands on all of the Crysis games because the overall story is really worth it. However, if you can only choose one game to play from the Crysis series, play Crysis 3. This game is just full of badass and have always been known to have visuals way ahead of its time. And let me say this, Crysis 3's graphical capabilities still competes with many titles today. Number 1. Witcher 3. If you were waiting for me to say GTA 5, you'll be disappointed, and if you were thinking Skyrim, well, it's not far off, but the number 1 game on this list is The Witcher 3. Like Crysis, I implore you to play all of the game in the series, but if you can't get into the first game, start with the second. They're really cheap on Steam sales and have a lot of value for the money you're paying, even when they're not on sale. In The Witcher 3, you play as Geralt, who just recovered his memories prior to having amnesia in the first 2 games. On his search for Yennefer, he finds out that there are more things going on than he originally thought. One of them is the return of the Wild Hunt, specters from another universe. The Witcher 3 has surpassed everyone's expectations and has set off a new benchmark on how all future RPGs will be judged. This is a game fueled by choices and consequences and carries a heavy and dark story. Just make sure you're old enough to play this game. It's a mature game and deals with not only sex and violence, but many themes that some might find disturbing. Alright guys, so that's all I have for this list. I know some of you might disagree, but I compiled this list according to some of the games I've played before and really enjoyed. These aren't the only games I like and are only based from my opinion. However, I do believe that the games I've chosen on this list can either ease you into gaming or showcase the best of what PC gaming, or again, just gaming in general, has to offer. Just so you know, the reason I didn't include GTA in this list is because I haven't played any of the games. But regardless of that, I hope you enjoyed the list and I hope you find this list helpful.